Okay, I have an existing second floor deck, and I've decided to put a roof underneath it. The deck's unfinished, and actually screen it in and make a screened-in porch. So I've already started to do some of the work, but I figured maybe I'd video some of this. Maybe it would give somebody else an idea, if it works out well for me, of how maybe to do this. Now basically what I've done is I want to slope everything away from the house. So I've already put up strips of wood that progressively get larger as I go along. This way everything will slope from the house down to a gutter I've already installed. So that's the idea anyway. I'm using these panels called Tough Tex panels. I bought them at Lowe's. There are systems you could actually buy which are actually made to do specifically this, but I think they're pretty expensive. These panels were relatively inexpensive, so I thought it might be a good way to go. I've already started to put some of them up, as you can see, and I guess we'll see how it goes, but so far so good. You know, I've run some water from the top just to see how it's working with the drainage, and the pitch and everything else seems pretty good so far, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, I just finished putting up the last panel for my underdeck roofing, and I think the whole thing actually came out really well. Like a lot of other projects, you don't really know how it's going to go until you do it. I still got to put up a bunch more screws just to tighten everything up, but that's no big deal. That I'm going to do afterwards, but I actually think it looks pretty good. I tested the runoff with a hose, and everything stayed nice and dry down here. Okay, here's part 2 of my project, screened-in porch under my deck. Part 1 was putting up my ceiling, and now I'm in the process of framing out the screening. I'm using pressure-treated 2x4s. I actually just finished one wall, and I'm in the process of putting down the plates for the other wall. I'm using concrete screws to go directly into the concrete to hold it. I'm actually going to put in a screen door as well, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, this is the continuation of my screened-in porch under my deck project. I have all the framing done now, and I'm actually getting pretty close to doing the screening. I got a couple more touch-up pieces, and then I'm ready to go. I'm going to use something called Screen Tight, which they sell at Lowe's or Home Depot. These are the tracks. You put up these tracks, and then it fits right in, and then they have caps that go over. So that's the next piece of my project. You know, so far so good. You know, I'm starting to see light at the end of the tunnel. It shouldn't be too much longer now till it's done. And so far I'm pretty happy with the way it's coming out. Alright, I put up all the tracks, and now I'm just starting the screening process. I'm just starting to spline in the first screen now. And we'll see how it goes. Well, the screening part of this project is now done. I got the screens up all around. Piece of advice, if you're going to use this Screen Tight kit, and my guess is it's probably the same way for some of the other one, you got to stretch the spline as you go along, because if not, it's very difficult to put in and it becomes very tedious. Now I just have to put up the strips. I have the finishing strips up on one side, and it looks pretty good. Just got to finish it around the rest of it for now. Alright, I finally have all the trim on, and I think everything looks good. I think using the Screen Tight really makes it look a lot more professional. Now that all the trim's on, I definitely think it makes it look a lot more like a screened room. So it looks pretty good. You know, this project's over. I just got to lay the carpet. I got the furniture on order, and I should be good to go. Anyway, good luck with your project.